Hello, everyone, and welcome to our third webinar series on robotics and data management. I'm very pleased to host today two great speakers, Michael and Bruno, that are going to introduce himself. Um, as a reminder, we have been already conducting two webinars last year about robotics and data management challenges. And we did a deep dive to look specifically at logistics and warehouses to show KPIs and ROI of using a data management solution. Both webinars are available on replay on our website, so feel free to go and check them out. But today we have a great lineup, and we're going to discuss more about the robotic market, which is significantly growing, and getting the perspective of Michael from a investment perspective, as well as Bruno, the CEO of Heex, that is going to share some of the challenges to scale and integrate those technologies into real application. So, Michael, welcome, and maybe you can introduce yourself with a few words.
Yes, thank you, Pierre. So I'm Michael. Nice to meet you, everybody. So super happy to join today for this session. Robotics is a super exciting field, so it's going to be great to talk about that. A few words about me. So I'm an engineer. I've started my career in finance rapidly. After 2 to 3 years in the industry, I came back to the technology and engineering world because it's really my thing. I really started my career by starting a startup actually in 2016. So I was the CEO and co-founder of a space tech startup, so based in Paris. We were designing manufacturing optical payloads for miniaturized optical payload for nano satellites. I developed this business for a few years before joining the VC world. During the fundraising, I shifted from entrepreneurship to the investment world during a fundraising of my company, and now I've been working in the venture capital industry for the last 7 years, starting first in 2018 at Carista, an early stage VC fund. That invest in deep tech startups. For the anecdote, that's a period when I met with Heex and I invested actually in Heex Technologies in 2022. And in 2023, I joined Supernova Invest, where I'm working right now as an investment director. I invest in growth startup mainly, so from Series B and beyond, ticket from 10 to 20 million euros, everywhere in Europe, and especially in deep tech, so industrial technologies and pure software as well. Just a few words on Supernova. We are a team of 30 people. We have 800 million under management. We invest everywhere all across Europe, also a bit in Israel and occasionally in the US. Ticket from 1 to 20, and four main vertical: industrial technologies, software, clean tech, and healthcare. Yes, that's it. So Bruno, I'll let you let you to follow.
Thank you, Michael. So my name is Bruno. I'm a co-founder and CEO at Heex Technologies, company that we started back in 2019. Prior to that, I launched a company called Greenlux Car that was renting electric vehicles from 2013 to 2018. I think it was a little bit too early for people to adopt this kind of solution. But it led me to Heex Technologies as electric vehicle and autonomy has been a very dynamic subject in the US. And after a few years in the US, I decided to come back in France and find some partners to launch Heex Technologies. and that's where I met one of my co-founder Arnaud, and then Pierre to start the company, and here we are today, offering a solution for companies working in autonomy. So it can be vehicles, robots, drones, whatever device that can incorporate AI to perform from simple to complex tasks. And to improve these systems, you need a very intelligent tool to retrieve the most relevant data, and that's what Heex provide to help those engineering teams improving the performance of the robots, and the operators, the people on the other side, the end users, to monitor the performance of the robot. So it's a solution that can help both world, both R&D and both production. And super excited to dive more into it during this webinar.
Well, thank you very much, both of you, for this intro. We're gonna now go through a little bit more into the details of the agenda. But before that, I wanted to launch our Q&A session. So feel free to ask any question you might have during the course of the webinar, and then we will address them at the end. Now, starting maybe with you, Michael, you mentioned about your experience. You mentioned about Supernova as a company investing in AI and robotics. You did recently invest in a robotics company, and we will talk about that in a minute. We just also talked before that call about Trump announcement about investment for AI infrastructure. So there is a massive, let's say, market growth on these technologies. Maybe you can give a little bit more insight about how you're going to see the world evolving.
Yeah, obviously, when we talk about robotics today, it's not only robotics; it's most of the time AI-powered robotics. So just before talking about that, maybe about the market opportunity, the growth is here for sure. It's a trend which is growing, potentially in a hype. We are potentially not that far from the top of the Gartner curve. And so in 23, we saw 35% of growth. IPO numbers doubled. So it was already in impressive years. 24, we don't have all the consolidated data, but for the first figures we've got, it seems to be still growing a lot. So yeah, no, it's the market opportunity is here for sure. It's global. And so you have these global robotic markets, which includes from robotic arms to autonomous robots. It's really large. The growth rate everywhere is supposed to reach around 20 to 30%. And when we look at this field of autonomous robots, so it's should be around 15 to 20% growth every year for the next 5 years. So it's also a really growing market. And when we look at the capital streams, European robotics are doing well. They need to rely on their domestic markets because most of the funds coming from the US and the US and Asia mainly invest in their own market right now. They only invest respectively 12% in Europe and 10% from Asia. So it's not that great. The main reason, for example, the US investors, they prefer to invest in the domestic market right now due to familiarity, due to the lower legal and regulatory burdens. And of course, there are more exits over there. So for the moment, investments are still localized, but they're important. Global VC investments in the field were close to 8 billion in 23 and should be above 10 billion in 24. So the key drivers to adopt those robots, especially the autonomous mobile robots. So what changed a lot over the last 2 to 3 years is the integration of AI, especially deep reinforcement learning within the hardware, let's say. It's open it opened business case as we couldn't even imagine. So we're gonna talk a bit more about that afterwards, but it's the first thing that enables to reach customers and increase adoption, but also some other things such as ESG. And that is a new catalyst for robotics adoptions and especially for worker safety. Um, we know that with inflation, labor costs are on a rise everywhere in the world, and it's a good way to introduce robots to the world. And just for information, the top 5 drivers for investments, it's about reducing operating expenses, improving quality of processes, increasing productivity, having more capabilities internally, and improving safety. Finally, what are the main challenges today on this market? So companies are addressing like really big corporates, big industries, and especially in brownfield. So it means that they need to implement robotic solution within operations running. So it's hard. It's not that easy to bring digitalization and automation in brownfield. So it artificially inflates the cost of robots. So that's the first main challenge. Second one is there is no really standardized programming platform that complicates usability and adoption. And finally, whatever your strategy, either you do a make or buy strategy, whatever, it's always high capex for startups. You need to raise a lot of money to do some financial engineering with debt in order to be able to develop a scale internationally. If we look at the evolution of the wave of industrial automation, so for everybody, I think know the automated manufacturing with robotic arms that started in the automotive industry and that are today used in many industries. We saw like the first one was 15 years ago. We saw this impressive wave of industrial automation for logistics through autonomous mobile robots. So especially to, as you can see on the picture, for smart warehousing. So it was the first really big wave, and so massive capital have been invested in this trend, and hopefully that's and the good thing is that the consolidation waves happened over the last 5 to 10 years, and we saw like you can see here on the slide a few comparables, a few transactions that happened. So secondary transaction with P funds between 1.7 to 2 billion. 20 when we look at the revenue multiple, it's above 20x, so it's really high. And we also saw some M&A with Rockwell that bought ClearPass or Shopify with River Systems, transaction between 400 million and 600 million, with really nice multiple as well. All those companies were not really profitable, revenues between 30 million.
Hello. Bruno, you're still with me?
Yes, I think Michael has a little problem with this connectivity.
Okay, well,
Okay, second back.
yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So what about those buyers? It was mainly commercial trends, commercial dynamics. These companies were growing a lot, and they needed and they bought that actually, not really EBITDA. And then we saw this new wave, autonomous industry, autonomous robots, sorry, to bring automation to the industry. So light robots, humanoids, ground robots, various type of robots that bring some new use cases. And if we look at the trend features associated with it, so it is a highly dynamic. There is a highly dynamic capital market. Fundraising evaluations are crazy right now. Software is a new goal for investors, and when we say software, it's mainly about AI, how to improve the hardware to be really autonomous. It's new technologies, it's new use cases. So as always, you need to need times to use. There is a natural market inertia actually, and within big corporates there is change management to implement. So especially in brownfield, so it's something that need to be considered for robotics company. And finally, the consolidation wave not really happened yet. I think it's gonna happen after 27. For the moment, only small exits, but it's coming.
Thanks a lot, Michael, for these insights. I'd like to now follow up with Bruno. Bruno, the Heex Technologies has been able to commercialize this product for more than 4 years now to several industry players in autonomous driving, providing autonomous system in mobility, now in robotics application, giving you great insights on the market and the trends and the growth. So it'd be great to hear from you. How do you see that growth from an industrial perspective? But also, what are the challenges that still remain from a technical operational standpoint to scale that at a larger, implementation across the globe?
Yes. So on my side, I'll just start by going back to the massive potential of autonomous mobile robots across key industrial use cases. So let me take you to each one with some compelling example and metrics that showcase the transformative impact of AMRs. So first, you have smart warehousing, where companies like Amazon, that everyone knows, are leading the way with Amazon Robotics, that deploys 700,000 AMRs in their warehouses globally, reducing picking and packing time by up to 50% and increasing storage efficiency by 40%. In a fast-paced e-commerce world, automating these processes ensure companies can meet skyrocketing demand while keeping costs in check. Next, you have a third-party logistics. A company like DHL and FedEx are perfect example here. DHL has deployed AMRs for material handling, reducing turnaround times in warehouses by up to 20% and boosting order accuracy to nearly 100%. That's very impressive. For logistic company, these metrics translate directly into faster deliveries, improved customer satisfaction, and cost savings. Then you have smart manufacturing. Industries like automotive and electronics have seen this as a revolution. For example, Tesla use AMRs in their gigafactories to transport parts between assembly lines, enabling near continuous production cycles. Similarly, BMW has reduced internal logistic costs by up to 30% by integrating AMRs into their operation. This kind of automation leads to fewer bottlenecks, higher output, and more flexible manufacturing systems. So, as you saw with all these insights across all these sectors, the impact of is very clear with the AMR, not only to improve efficiency but also to address key um, issues and challenges like labor shortage, optimization of floor space, and reduction of operational cost. A study by ABI Research predict that by 2030, over 15 million MRs will be deployed globally, driving productivity gains by 200 billion annually. However, achieving these results require more than just deploying robot. It demands integration into existing system like ERP, scalable solution, and continuous optimization. Leading industry are proving that AMRs can unlock significant gains, but they have to rely on robust, data-driven operation to adapt to complex and dynamic environments. As we continue to discuss, let's explore what's the market dynamic on investment side today, and all as we saw the dynamic on the investment side and the use cases. Now let's dive deeper into the issues that those operation can bring when we talk about AMRs. So the challenges The key challenges that AMRs provider and user face across different level of operation here are the following. First, on the provider side, accessing relevant data remain a major hurdle. Companies often generate terabytes of raw data from AMR sensors and system, but going through it manually to find actionable insight can take days, if not weeks. For instance, a leading warehouse automation company found that 70% of their engineering time was spent analyzing irrelevant data, delaying their ability to fine-tune their AMR performance. Second, there's a reliance on significant manpower for event analysis and visualization. Many AMR developers still rely on manual methods to identify failures, anomalies, and optimization opportunities. This slows down iteration, testing cycle, and real-world deployment. And that's a key barrier to staying competitive in a fast-moving market. On the user side, operational challenges are equally pressing. A lack of actionable insight often leads to diminishing performance over time. For example, a manufacturing company observed that a 20% decline in robot efficiency due to unmonitored issues. With a clear view on performance metrics, problems go. Without a clear view on performance metrics, problems go unnoticed until they cause costly failures. Another challenge is real-time issue detection. AMRs operate in a dynamic environment where delays can be catastrophic. In logistics, every minute an AMR downtime can cost up to $10,000 per hour. Company really struggle to detect those issues quickly, leading to increased downtime and reduced productivity, metrics no business can afford to ignore. Finally, we see an inefficient monitoring and decision-making processes impacting critical KPIs like overall equipment effectiveness, mean time between failures, and mean time to repair. Poor visibility into these KPI result in suboptimal processes, which directly affect operational efficiencies and return on investment. In fact, a recent study found that businesses optimizing this KPI could boost up their productivity by 20%. In summary, while AMRs have tremendous potential, these challenges, whether on the data, manpower, or performance level, underscore the need for better tools and processes to access insights quickly and detect real-time issues to make data-driven decisions. Addressing these gaps is critical to achieve long-term scalability and unlock the full value of AMRs across industry. So I'll be happy to dive deeper into a solution that we are providing at Heex, but I'll let Michael give more information about the market.
Yeah, thanks, Bruno. And yeah, I mean, as every growing market, there is it comes with a lot of room for improvement, and we're going to see how Heex data management platform is covering some of these gaps that you have highlighted. But before that, maybe going back to you, Michael, specifically on industrial automation and robotics, it would be interesting to hear what kind of, let's say, aspect you are looking at when you invest in a company like that, and more specifically, use the example of the company that you recently invested to share more insight about that.
Yeah, thank you. Now there is clearly a massive opportunity for Heex, as you can see here. So many companies are raising money in these new trends I talked about before. This new automation trend for any industries, not only logistics as before, and obviously all those companies need to use autonomous systems and to deal with massive amount of data and need to find a way to process all those data smartly. So that's where Heex intervene. But yes, if we look at it, so in this chart, you can see I'm not gonna talk about all of it, but right now what we see on the markets, where are the main capital streams injected, mainly in humanoids. You probably saw that on the news. Companies such as Figure or 1X or Agility Robotics, the robots from Tesla, of course, as well. We have seen some massive operation in it. Equity venture invested in 1X, Nvidia and Figure, Data Collective in Agility Robotics. It's been massive rounds with massive valuations, and for the moment, the revenues associated with these companies are not that crazy, even really really low, but they invest in the potential. I mean, for the moment, the use cases are really easy. It's just about moving an object from one place to another. It's not more than that. I mean, the market where you have interaction with humanoids and they will be in your house helping you. It's really tomorrow. It's not today. That's not the first use cases. But they invest in that in a future, and that's why they invest in really high valuation. So that's one first trend. The other one is about ground robots or legged robots. Those robots that can bring a lot of intelligence in order to either bring automation or even maintenance operations for industrial, for corporates. So we can see, for example, Unitree in China that raise money in this sector, or of course, I'm going to talk about a company called Anybotics that also raise money for to improve maintenance and automation. So that's a second trend where we see a lot of money injected. But and when you look at on the top of the chart, when you look at to the M&A activity, we see a few consolidation. But as I said before, it's not really it's not the big ones for yet. It's gonna come later. So on the leg robots parts, we saw two companies that have been bought. So Ghost Robotics, bought by a Korean company called League Next One for 400 million, 30x the rev multiple. Boston Dynamics have been in 21 bought by Hyundai, also a Korean player, for more than $1 billion, potentially 30x the revenues. So it's important, already an important M&A, but that's really the beginning. But what important trends to look at is that when you look on the right and you see those companies such as Robco or Agility Robotics or Swissmile, they raised on really high valuation with really low revenues. But the reason is that these new trends of autonomous robots, this new trends not only for logistics but for any industries now, it enables again, it brings investor new hopes to build new leaders on these markets, because markets are really really deep, and they see the potential. So in they invest a lot. They don't really care about the valuation because they know they can build new leaders, and they can target a power law dynamic in their portfolio, and look for performance. So that's why we can see that on the market right now. The problem is that it could be a bubble, but yet for the moment it's still we can see really strong use case with revenues on some of these companies. So for the moment it's not really a bubble. It's the beginning of it. Let's see where it leads. But on our side, Supernova, we invested in a company that is already I'm gonna go there. A company that is already generating a lot of revenues, with a very amazing equity story. So we invested in last year, by the end of last year, in Anybotics. So Anybotics is AI-powered legged robots that enable a new era of industrial automation. So they offer robots that are equipped with a lot of payloads that enable to improve maintenance. So they can do acoustic, thermal, visual, any type of analysis of customer assets, and bring the data to the IT of the company, and really automate maintenance, also improve safety for workers. So it's they offer that to robot as a service model, which is also quite new in the industry. This ability not to sell a one-off robots, but as a one-off the robots, but also to bring recurring revenues and sell it as a SaaS model, which is quite crazy. It means that the software part of the robot is really working. It's really enabled to sell this new type of business model. And maybe Pierre, if you can just start the video so that we'll be really speaking for people to see this robot works. So yeah, as you can see here, these robots have some amazing mobility features. So as I can say, they can scan any type of assets, visual, thermal, radiation, anything. They can move. They have mobility. They can. Um, they can be in rough environments, any type of environments, snow. It can be actually any type of industries, even if they target really complicated industries such as mining, nuclear, energy, or oil and gas as well. And it's fully autonomous. So they're able to scan the whole environment and to be totally autonomous and bring data to be processed for the workers and to the maintenance. And the reason we invested in this company, so that it can seem that to be it's not really, it's mainly about the team, always about the team. So here at Anybotics, we invested in a founders team of tech guys that gather around them some of the best talents in Europe, but not only in Europe, all across the world. Those guys were coming from robotics, from sales, from software companies, and they were really strong, and they built something really a complete team to address this market. We invested in a state-of-the-art technology, really defensible, strongly ahead of the market, even if there is a bit of competition. We're gonna talk a bit about that afterwards. Also, commercial dynamic. We don't see that in any robotics company today, but here they managed to have a strong growth. I'm not gonna be able to disclose numbers, but the growth is just amazing, and they're able to sell those products with a RAS model, as I just said before. Another really important point when you invest in this type of company is a consortium, the investor consortium, to syndicate the run and to help building an international leadership is really key. So here we co-invested with Besme, Wallen Tetalis, NGP, Qualcomm Ventures, TDK. So amazing investors that are really that are able to bring a lot to the company to grow. And if we look at the dynamic on this vertical, so obviously competition is strengthening. Something interesting to look at is how the competitors are entering the markets. So there are really two competitors for Anybotics. So Boston Dynamics in the US, really famous for these videos of their robots doing some figures and that type of stuff. In China, we saw also Unitree and Deep Robotics lately that grew a lot, providing also some amazing marketing contents to impress the. And in Europe, it's more about challenges. They have less financing, but we saw SwissMile, Robotics, and Robotics also starting. So yeah, competition is here, but Anybotics is really ahead of the market right now in terms of technology, but also in terms of go-to-market, and they provide something really fundamental to be the person to stay ahead of the market, which is a hand-to-hand solution. So it means that it's not about only selling the robots; it's also about helping the customers to integrate it, to have a really strong onboarding, and then to have a seamless interface and to be able to use the robots every day without thinking about it. And maybe to finish, as I said before, trading comparables on these sectors. It's really about software right now. So 10x revenue multiples, so they average much more than the pure hardware. So yes, this mix of AI-powered robots, when you have more and more software in the robots, improve its capabilities. It's working great, especially for Anybotics. So yeah, we are super happy of this investment, and that's it. Yeah, I think a perfect example of what is possible with AI, with deep learning applied to robotics today in 25.
Thank you, Michael, for this very comprehensive overview and a great example with Anybotics, which wish you a lot of success with. Now, Bruno, after the first assessment regarding like challenges and so on, maybe if we can dive a little bit deeper into these hurdles and how today Heex has a one product on the market that can help overcome them. You're on mute, Bruno.
Yes, as Michael said, there's a huge potential for companies like Anybotics to replace a lot of human being tasks that are challenged by different factors, labor shortage, security, and because they are very different environment, and some of them can be very dangerous. And for these kind of companies to really uh, reach their full potential and have a robot in every plant, any facilities they can perform, there's a lot of parameters that needs to be um, overcome to make that. So this slide highlights the key factor that impacts robots' performance in complex industrial environments. Challenges that companies like Anybotics will, which specialize in autonomous inspection robots, like Michael say, uh, have to face. So let's start with the core challenge. Robots operating in dynamic industrial environments, whether it's inspecting an oil refinery, a chemical plant, or a power station, robots face unpredictable conditions like change of temperatures, vibration, obstructions that can disrupt their operation. For instance, in an oil and gas inspection, even minor connectivity failures or inaccurate localization can compromise safety checks and leads to downtime, costly amount. So the first factor here that you see on the left is connectivity. Connectivity is critical in industrial environments. Large structure and signal interference make difficult for robots to maintain consistent connection with control system and cloud platform. Um, these company relies on edge processing to reduce latency, but challenge remain in environment where data transmission can be disrupted. The next one is localization. Robots must accurately determine their position to perform inspection or mapping task. However, GPS is often unreliable indoors or underground. In complex plans, poor localization can result in navigation error, missed checkpoints, or inaccurate mapping. Achieving real-time precise localization in an ever-changing environment remain a technical hurdle. Then you have navigation. Autonomous robots navigating industrial site must deal with stairs, narrow walkways, slippery surfaces. This demand robust AI-powered path planning and obstacle avoidance. Even slight failures can mean costly damages and operational halts. And finally, you have computer vision. It's essential for accurate inspection and mapping. Robots rely on sensors and camera to identify anomalies such as leaks, overheating, or structural damage. Poor lighting, reflective surfaces, or visual obstruction in factories make it difficult to extract reliable insight. A recent case showed a 15% drop in inspection accuracy due to sensors miscalibration under extreme conditions. So, how do we address all these challenges? The answer, at least on our hand, is data and insights. Companies are investing in advanced analytics and digital twin to create virtual model of their environment. However, digital twins are only as effective as the quality of the data they rely on. Without efficient data retrieval and targeted insight, the massive amounts of real world data generated by robots remain largely unusable. Incomplete, irrelevant, or delayed data can result in inaccurate simulation, unreliable prediction, and limited algorithm refinement. To truly unlock the potential of the digital twins, robot must capture only the most relevant data in real time, enabling engineers to simulate performance in dynamic environment, accelerating deployment cycle, and deliver actionable outcome with higher precision. So, in summary, whether it's maintaining connectivity, ensuring accurate localization, robust navigation, or computer vision, these challenges are pivotal for companies like Anybotics to unlock reliability and scalability in industrial robotics. As the industry grows, addressing these factors will be key to achieving long-term success and enabling robots to operate seamlessly across environments. So now let's go to how Heex can answer these challenges. So I'm going to introduce our solution, a platform specifically designed to help companies manage and extract actionable insight from their system. At the core of our solution are the Heex agent, which can be deployed at the edge or in the cloud to filter and capture only smart data. Instead of collecting vast amount of irrelevant information, the Heex agent allows you to focus on precise data point that matter the most. This targeted approach means you no longer drowning in terabytes of unnecessary data. Instead, you have meaningful insight that drive efficiency and performance improvement. So how does it work? It starts with our three main components. So you have the monitors on one side. These agents continue to track critical variable in real time. For example, in autonomous mobile robots, these could uh, include pedestrian movement, weather condition, or traffic signals. If specific event triggered a concern like sudden break or a risky obstacle, the system immediately flag it and for further action. Then comes the recorders. When preset condition align on the monitors, the recorders kicks in automatically. So you can imagine a robot navigating an industrial plant. If speed exceeds a specific threshold or temperature sensor detect anomalies, the recorders capture the exact moment of data, whether it's video footage, sensor stream, or logs. This ensures companies has precise data for troubleshooting or optimization. When you combine those two elements, so you have a trigger which from the platform, you can define the parameters that matter the most to your operation. For instance, you can configure data capture for events like wind speed exceeding 18 milliseconds or equipment vibration beyond a safe threshold. This flexibility makes X an adaptable solution across industries, from robotics to smart manufacturing to logistics or drone, for examples. One of our key differentiator is that we can do over-the-air updates. So imagine you can you set up a trigger based on your implementation of monitors and recorders, and the data that you're retrieving might it's not exactly what you are looking for. With the over-the-air capabilities, you can seamlessly configure and update those implementation deployed at the edge of the device or in the cloud, separating the cycle, the deployment, the update cycle of your software and your data strategy. So you can, if you make software updates every month, you can decorrelate that and make updates about your data strategy every day, for example. So this is the main elements for our of our product, and it links also to our backend where all the data flows directly to be presented on the web interface, where you can analyze, visualize, and act on insight. This drastically reduced the time spent searching for data, empowering engineering teams to iterate faster, improve decision making, and deploy their system with confidence. To give you an idea of the impact of one of our clients, reduce their time to processing by 60%, freeing up resources to focus on innovation rather than manual data extraction. And in environments where real-time performance matter, this level of efficiency can be a game changer. So one of the on the slide here, you can see how the workflow actually plays. So you have your robots. The engineers can, as I said, define what type of condition they want to monitor to trigger a recording. And the fact that you can get the data in real time based on those parameters makes it way easier to distribute the data among the teams and for faster problem solving. So that's how it actually work. Oh, sorry. And I'll let Pierre do the key takeaways of this session.
Yeah, thank you, Bruno and Michael, for this highly comprehensive presentation. There was a lot of content, so I'm trying to summarize this with a few takeaways for us. So we saw definitely AMR as a growing market, attracting VC attention. There were a lot of examples that were shared today. Obviously, there are a lot of industrial application, manufacturing, logistic, mining, and so on. But integrating these robots within the environment together with the customer is obviously key, especially if you want to scale those applications. We learned that our smart data can be an enabler to continuously learn from this operation, supervise them, and also support the customer service. And Bruno explained how the Heex can then be a product both for a provider of robotics technologies as well as end users, people that wants to automate their operation with robots, with a platform that will help them to track KPI, maximize the return on investment with all the data insight. We are slightly overdue compared to the 45 minutes we had initially planned. Hopefully that was valuable content for all of you. There were a few questions that were asked. I'm just going to take one question only, and I'm going to ask Michael and Bruno to give your quick answer in 30 seconds, just for the sake of time. So someone was asking, what are the limitations today for broader usage of industrial robotics? We touch a little bit on that, but in 30 seconds, Michael and Bruno, if you can just give your synthetic summary on that.
Yes, of course. So limitation today, it's mainly about market brownfield and operations. Implementing advanced robotics production lines, it's much more complex than you can imagine. So it requires time from operation leads they do not have actually. So they have specific KPIs to achieve, and deviation from it it's not a good incentive for them. So the limitations are in the capacity to integrate seamlessly with the IT and operation, automated or autonomous solution. And that is why Heex is fundamental at detecting malfunctions in real time. It's helped a lot to bring this seamless need to integration.
Yeah, Bruno, do you want to add something to that?
Yes. So to answer that quickly, so there's mainly two sides here. There's the the robots provider and the robots operator. On the provider side, time to market is fundamental. So being able to provide robots that is ready for industrial use cases is key. And to do that, you need tools and processes to continuously improve your robot's performance. And that's what we trying to support these user with a tool that can help you with that. And on the other side, for the robot operator, being able to access robotics data and to democratize that among non-technical users, I think it's very important because in critical environment like this, you don't want to operate blindly. Because if it's taking the place of a human being that you could ask question before, you cannot ask question to a robot. You need to see the data and translate that into your application, and that's key. So on one side is continuously being able to improve your performance for the robots provider, and on the other side is to be able to have access to those data for the robots operator to be able to scale that and so it can have a massive impact on the business.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this. With that, I want to close today's webinar. It was very informative. I hope people in the audience enjoyed it as much as I did. If you are looking to raise money, then feel free to contact Michael. If you are looking to improve your operation, accelerate your engineering activities, provide let's say seamless tool for your customer to supervise robotic fleets, please contact Bruno. And stay tuned for the next webinar session on our side. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you, Bruno, Michael.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.